Hey Seekers, are you confused about collection score? Well, that's fine, as after Aurory's recent economy update, a lot of Seekers are confused on what NFTs count towards your collection score and how many points each one gives you. So let me clear everything up by explaining the whole collection score system and how it affects your earning in Aurory. Yes Seekers, you heard me correct. Collection score has a massive impact when it comes to the earning to prime players. So enough of me talking. Let's get into my beginner's guide to the collection score system in Aurory, Seekers of Tokane. So, collection score is basically a point system tied to your collection that increases the amount of Aurory you get on Wednesday. Most of the NFTs in the game have points tied to them, like Nifties and Aurorians, but eggs have 0 points connected to them because they're consumable. So, could they get burned and used, they have 0 points connected to them. But collection score is more of a multiplier if anything else, as the amount of Aurory you get comes down to your ochre times by your collection score, and then you get your Aurory total. So to be one of the people that has the most Aurory on Wednesday, you need to have a lot of ochre from playing the PvP mode and also have a big NFT collection within the game. So you're higher up on the collection score leaderboard to get the highest multiplier that you can. That's me explaining everything very simply, as the formula and the collection score system as a whole is still evolving, so everything right now can change. But there's 2 little things that you have to know when it comes to the collection score system within the game. To the back end of collection score, there's these little categories called quantiles, and for you to get into the higher ones, you need more points, and if you're in the higher ones, you earn more Aurory. They balance the categories by the amount of people who are playing the game. The second thing is, certain NFTs will have a cap on the points that go towards your collection score. So now you got a rough understanding of all the little details that go into collection score. Let's get into the most important one. Which NFTs count towards collection score, how many points each one gives you, and which ones have a cap. Let's get into it. Alright, let me try to explain the point system to you guys in a short and simple way, because in reality, it's easy to understand. So let's list all the NFTs that have points tied to them before we get into the point system. So we got Nifties, Aurorians, collectibles, and skins. Each prime Nifty in a game gives you points, and the higher the star level, the rarity, the more points you will get, as you can see in the image. There's a massive jump in the amount of points you get when it comes to the 4 and 5 star Nifties. But don't worry about your star levels too much, as if you've got a bunch of Nifties to play with, you will have some form of collection score points, and that means you'll have a multiplier on the amount of Aurory you get weekly. There's one thing you have to consider when it comes to the 1 and 2 star Nifties, and that is when you level up a Nifty, it will have more collection score points than it did when it was level 1, and that's because each time you burn a Nifty to level up a Nifty, that Nifty's points / XP will count towards collection score points. The amount of points you would get per level could be more than you just holding your 1 and 2 star Nifties in your collection. So maybe do some little math to see if it's more beneficial for you to level up your Nifties with that Nifty or to keep it in your collection. But the thing is, collection score is still evolving and changing. So do what you want when it comes to the leveling up information, when it comes to is it better to keep your 1 and 2 star Nifties or to use them to level up. Because I don't want you to be angry with me in the future if I'm wrong about this. But right now, it seems better to use your 1 and 2 star Nifties to level up your other Nifties that you're going to use in battle, because you gain more points than just holding them in your collection. Now it's time to get into all the non-playable NFTs that have points tied to them. Well, skins are kind of playable, but every single non-playable NFT within the game has a cap on them. These NFTs have a cap on them, so after owning X amount of them, you'll stop getting points towards your collection score. Starting off, we got the biggest point giver, and that is Aurorians, which gives you 500 points for each one. But there's a cap of 5, so that 6th Aurorian that you own won't give you any more points. Next up, we have collectibles and skins. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated. The amount of points you get for each skin and collectible within the game comes down to their rarity, and how rare they are comes down to how many copies there are in existence. But there's one thing you have to consider when it comes to skins and collectibles, and that is they have a cap of 10. So after owning 10 of a certain skin or collectible, you won't get any more points for the 11th copy of any of them. So for example, don't own 11 Goliath skins unless you have a different purpose for the 11th copy. Well Seekers, now you have a full understanding of what collection score is and how it affects your earning. But before we go, let me explain to you the future purpose of collection score, as what we got right now is just a start. Collection score right now is in its early stages. There's a lot of features and collectibles coming out soon tied to the system that you lot should know about, as some of them I think are really cool. First, we got a massive update coming soon, which is daily and weekly missions, which will allow players to earn AURY shards from completing tasks within the game. And these AURY shards will turn into AURY, very similar to how Ochre and Toke does currently. When this update comes out, collection score will have a massive effect on the amount of AURY you'll get weekly. Not much information is out currently, but we can predict that it's going to be very similar to the way how collection score affects the earning in PvP currently, by acting like a multiplier. I can see the formula being kind of similar to like AURY shards times by collection score equals the amount of AURY you get weekly. This is all we really know when it comes to daily and weekly missions, as the team really hasn't said much. But this update is coming really soon, so get ready. One update we can guarantee is coming in the future is that collection score will have some form of effect when it comes to event earnings, because we had a little test of this already when it comes to the Christmas event. No doubt the Christmas event was just a little taste, a little test, a little something when it comes to collection score in events, and no doubt the team will expand on this in the future. The collectibles and NFTs within the game will be expanding soon, with these new battle items that allow your nifties to have passive stats and abilities, and these new items will be NFTs. And that means they will have some form of collection score points tied to them. These new items will bring a whole new dynamic when it comes to the gameplay and definitely the strategy within the game. Right now we have no idea how many points will be tied to these new battle items, but the one thing we can take from this is that slowly in the future the Aurory team will bring out new NFTs items within the game that will allow you to slowly grow your collection score points. And you never know, maybe one day the Aurory team will bring out a rental system that will allow players to play with all the nifties they want, and also temporarily have a higher collection score to allow them to earn more AURY weekly. Well, that's it guys. Now you know everything when it comes to collection score and how it affects your earning in Aurory. So maybe each Wednesday when you get your weekly AURY, maybe have a look on the market for some NFTs that are within your budget that can help you grow your collection score. But that's it from us for today guys. So remember, be a shark in this world, not a whale. And we're going to catch you guys next time.